Ilia Topuria versus Charles Oliveira. Wow. I mean, this was a very special thing that needs to be kept within the realms of what happened. And it's already kind of getting a little bit off track. Now let me explain. You have the right, and I suspect you are intoxicated by the excitement of what happened, the potential future, and the potential superstardom of Ilia Topuria. I mean, this was really special, what he went out and did. To be there live, just to share for you, and I trust you could see it through TV, but I haven't got to see the TV version. I just saw it in the building, but the walkout alone was unique. This was the UFC production team letting it be known we are investing in this guy. All right. So when the fight actually happens, I have not seen power like this. Now, Conor possessed a great power. We've had a number of great fighters. Alex Pereira, of course. We've seen guys, Francis Ngannou, that possess a really great power, but I haven't seen anything like this. I got to go back to Mike Tyson. I get that the power is drastically different. I'm talking about perspective of weight class. But for a man to be able to destroy whatever is in front of him, that is so frightening and so incredibly unusual. Now, Ilia Topuria doesn't have as many knockouts. He doesn't even have as many knockouts in the last 2 years as Tom Aspinall. So it's not as though we haven't seen this, but it looks different. Tom Aspinall, by the way, there's a real size. Those guys that Tom knocked out, he was bigger than. And so our ability to accept that, to accept what Tom is doing is different than our surprise of what Ilia does when he's a 45-pounder moving up to 55. Oh, by the way, he called his shot. He told anyone that would listen, including Ariel Helwani, who laughed. Ariel laughed when it was said. He said, what's going to happen in the fight? Ilia said, I'm going to knock him out first round. But he went out of his way to let us know it was first round. Before you dismiss that, he's fought, I believe, 19 men at this point. Ilia's only made the claim I'm going to knock him out in the first time 3 times that I've ever heard. 3 times he's ever said I'm going to knock him out in the first round. He didn't say that about Josh Emmett, just by example. He said it about Volk, who he called Wolk, which is funny. He said it about Max. And that was far harder to accept because Max doesn't fall down. Charles is known to go down, he just gets up. Charles goes down, but he keeps on fighting. And then he says it about Charles. So it was this incredible thing. It really was an incredible thing to watch. And I couldn't see it myself. I didn't get it until they played it in slow motion. And when they go in slow motion, like the way you throw a jab, here's probably what you think. Like if you've never boxed before and you stood up right now to throw a jab, it would look something like this. And after you learn to box, it will look something more like this. You will be turning it over, but you will also be extending. You'll be shifting your hips once you get used to it. When you're working with a coach, the hand will return. And the whole reason you shifted your hips was to load the power in this hand. And then it gives you the ability to now turn this hand. And the whole reason you turn your body and your hips with this hand, so when you return it, you can come back with the hook. I can do that myself. I can do that. On the heavy bag in my garage. As soon as Coach Clayton's there, and now it's a mitt workout, right? Still no punches coming back at me. Still not a live audience watching. Still not an anxiety and a fear and all these things going through your system. I can't quite do it. I can get close, but I can't, not quite on the pads. And then when you have a live guy in front of you, not at all. But nobody can. Nobody does. Canelo doesn't do it. Just to put in perspective for you, it's a very rare thing. And that's where, again, I've got to go back to the example of Mike Tyson. Mike could actually do those, and then you'd see his feet, and his feet would move, and he'd come around the body, boom, and he'd touch the guy's body, and his feet would move, and he'd come back this way, and he's loaded up, and it happens so fast. And it was an incredible thing that Ilia did. Rankings came out today. I don't quite understand how. They're supposed to come out Tuesday at 9 a.m., but Daniel Cormier read rankings to me today on Good Guy, Bad Guy. And Ilia is number 3 in the world. The way the rankings go, and I'm talking about pound for pound. Islam number 1, which I don't think would surprise you. Merab number 2. Ilia number 3. By example, Alex Pereira down at number 9. I don't know that I agree with that one, but I'm just sharing the rankings with you. Okay. So the reason the story isn't being told totally correctly, like you've got this debate, or at least a discussion now about Ilia and Islam. You really never had that with Islam. Jack's not even getting that with Islam, and that doesn't. Jack could beat Islam. We don't know. I'm just sharing perception with you. He cannot. No more than Volt could. No more than Charles could. I believe the odds are almost 4-1 favoring Islam. 3.5, 380. Favoring Islam over Jack. Whether that turns out to be a reality or not, we won't know. That's between those boys, and there's a reason that we have the match. I'm just sharing. They came out with a mythical odd. Ilia is close. He's a 2-1. Islam would beat him. 2-1. This is a mythical odd. But Patty, in the same mythical odd, is 6-1 against him. Arman Sarukian is 350, so 3.5-1 favorite to lose to Islam. The tightest is Ilia Topuria. And Islam is not a champion. That's a little bit of a problem. If you're just having discussions, I hear these come out all the time, Jordan and LeBron, and used to be 6 rings versus none, and now maybe LeBron's got a whole bunch of rings. But I'm just sharing that used to be an argument that I would actually hear. And right here, right now, today, Islam Makhachev is not a champion. Ilia Topuria just won his 2nd belt, but let's relook at that. Because there was a mistake made along the way, and the mistake was that Max was allowed to fight as the reigning BMF champion and not put the belt up. That's a mistake. Max should have put the belt up. So on Saturday, when you saw Ilia with 2 belts, which is a very special picture, inaccurate as all hell, he is not a double champion. He's a 2-time champion, but there is a meaningful difference. He should have had a 3rd belt. There should have been one around his waist. He should also have the BMF title. He should be our first ever champ right now, right this second. Without doing anything else, Ilia Topuria should be 3-time champion. And that does change the argument. That makes it very hard, no matter who you like or how much you think you know about the sport. It just makes it hard to put somebody in front of him. But it's not the case. They didn't put the belt up, and he's not the reigning BMF champion. Now, I do want you to keep in perspective that what's next for Ilia is unknown. And while immediately following the show, it felt like it was Patty, there's many things coming out of the UFC office that sound as though it's going to go to Sarukian. And both statements could be true. Patty's next fight might be for the belt, and Sarukian's next fight for the belt. It would just force one of them to wait.